Something that I get asked by a lot of clients and just people in general is why they cannot lose weight. Usually they would try exercising and eating in calorie deficit and all sorts of other things, but they just can't seem to lose the weight. And so today I'm here to talk about why that is and a few things that you can try out that will kind of help. So the first thing to know is that if you're having trouble losing weight, it's obviously to do with metabolism issues. You have a halted metabolism. It's not up and running as efficiently as it should be. And so then you have to ask the question, well, why is my metabolism sluggish and why is it not doing what it's supposed to do? And there are many reasons for that. And I'm going to just share, like a couple of the main ones. The first thing is it comes down to liver. Like all my videos, you'll hear me talk about the liver a lot. And it's because it's the most important organ in our body per se, in the sense that it has so many functions. One of the biggest things, one of the many big things is that it helps to keep our hormones regulated. It keeps our estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, etc. all in balance. And if you have a hormonal imbalance because your liver is not, working well, it's not keeping these hormones in balance and excreting excess hormones, then you're going to have estrogen dominance, which could lead to weight gain around the abdomen. Or you'll have, like a lot of times women don't have enough testosterone, and that could lead to like a very slow muscle growth. And the less muscle you have, the less calories you burn. So there's hormonal imbalance with the thyroid as well. Your liver converts your thyroid hormone. And so if your liver, again, is not doing that, you will end up with a thyroid imbalance. And most people know that for the most part, if you have an underactive thyroid, your metabolism is pretty much not working at all. And so there's definitely the hormonal side of it, and it does come down to getting your liver to work better. And before I continue on, if you're asking why is the liver not doing its job, it's because every single day we are exposed to over 2,000 toxins from the air we're breathing in, the things we're touching, the clothes we're wearing, pillows we're sleeping on, makeup we're wearing, food we're eating, etc. And it's all overwhelming our liver, which is an elimination pathway. And so the liver is so overburdened with toxins, it's not able to function and do all the jobs it should be doing properly. So the liver and hormonal imbalance is one side of things. And then the other side is toxicity. So what our bodies do is, as we are, exposed to toxins regularly, if our liver and kidneys are not pushing those toxins out the way they should be, so efficiently, then our body will hold on to toxins. If the body leaves these toxins in the bloodstream, they will bounce off your organs like your heart and liver and kidneys and cause actual organ damage because it creates inflammation around these organs. So what your body tries to do is it takes those toxins and it puts them into your cells. It puts them into the mitochondria of the cell. And when it does that, they're out of the bloodstream for the most part. And so they're not at least damaging the organs, but they're damaging your cells. And our cells are our body's powerhouse. They are what run the entire body. Everything in our body is made up of cells. The mitochondria of the cell is the cell's powerhouse. And when there is a lot of toxins in the mitochondria, and it could be glyphosate or Roundup, and it could be heavy metals, viruses, whatever else you're exposed to. When there's these toxins within the cell's enzymatic functions pretty much stop. So the cell is not doesn't have this enzyme production happening. And so that is another factor that can really slow down metabolism. Metabolism isn't just to break down your food. Metabolism is to turn over dead cells so that new healthy cells can kind of grow. Metabolism is, a part of metabolism is excreting toxins out of the body and outside of the cells. And so if your cells are clogged up with toxins, that's not happening, so metabolism is slowed down. And so then weight gain is just, a side effect of that. And then another part of this is your body will store, like I mentioned, toxins into your fat cells. It also stores them into joints and things like that. And so you might have joint pain or arthritis, but a lot of toxins get stored into your fat cells. And if you have a lot of toxicity and you're coming in contact with more and more and more every day and not doing anything to push these toxins out of the body, your body has no choice but to make more fat cells so that your toxins can be stored. So if you are exposed to a lot of toxins and you're not eliminating them from the body, your body has to put them somewhere. And if your cells are all full of toxins, your body will create more fat cells for these toxins. And so that is another issue as well. There's also a couple other things like lack of sleep. If you're not sleeping enough, your adrenals are really strained, and our adrenals are what pumps out our cortisol. And when we have high cortisol or adrenal fatigue, what is happening is that our inflammation in our body's high, because every time cortisol is secreted, so is inflammation. And when you have inflammation in the body, you naturally will get weight gain because your body starts retaining or holding on to things, including fluids. High cortisol also just you put on weight. When your body is in a stressed state, your body starts to hold on to calories rather than burning them. It holds on to fat because it thinks it will need it in case you go through a tough time. So your body will go switch from the fat burning mode to the fat storing mode when you have a lot of cortisol. So any stress, if you work too much, if you're overthinking things, if you have a crazy busy lifestyle, you're not getting enough sleep, these are all factors that will create high cortisol in the body, and then as a result you will be holding on to weight. And then there's a few other things, obviously, like having a diet that is higher in carbs would also create a weight gain issue, because carbs are, while fat molecules contain more calories, carbs convert into sugar in the body, and your body stores sugar as fat rather than fuel per se. And so what you kind of want to make sure you're doing is consuming a lower carb diet and a higher protein, a good amount of fat, small amount of complex carbs, lots of veggies and some fruit. That's like the perfect way to eat. I usually say follow the Mediterranean diet, where you have lots of fish, seafood, and healthy fats and protein and things like that. And carbs should just be a smaller portion. And the carbs that you do consume should not be cane sugar and white bread. It should be things like wild rice or buckwheat or some fresh fruit. Your body can really metabolize these foods pretty easily, and it uses it for energy rather than storing it as fat or converting it into fat cells. Eating too much fruit can also create some weight gain, because if you have regular sugar, our body uses that sugar as glucose, and it actually is how our body gets energy. Our body uses glucose and converts that into energy, into that ATP in the body. If you consume fructose from fruit or things like agave nectar, which is really high in fructose, our body does not use fructose for energy, so it goes to the liver, and the liver has to process it, and then the liver will store it as fat. So if you go and eat some cane sugar, your body will use some of that as energy and store the rest as fat. Whereas if you eat a lot of fructose, your body will just convert all of it into fat, because it can't be used as energy, because your body needs glucose. So I'm not saying to go and eat cane sugar over fruit, but I'm just saying overall, try to avoid cane sugar and really watch your fruit consumption. Don't overdo fruit if you're having trouble with losing weight. So those are just some of the tips. Obviously, exercise is something you should be doing every day. Moving your body. The more muscle you build, the more calories you burn daily, because muscle uses more glucose to thrive and to take care of itself. And so the more muscle you have, the more calories that you burn naturally. And what you want to do is not just move your body every day, but do the right kind of exercise. Typically, if you're doing like a long run, say you run for an hour a day at the same pace, or you jog, or things like that, those tend to not build up as much muscle. And so overall, you tend to lose less weight. The best way to actually burn calories is weightlifting, because when you lift weight, you're straining those muscles a lot more, and so they're going through more calories. And so someone who does a good weightlifting workout versus a long jog, you'll burn more calories lifting weights, even if the workout is shorter. But what it does long term is, as it builds muscle, again, you burn more calories. It really revs up that metabolism and gets your body to start pushing things out. My favorite type of workout to do is weightlifting, usually 3 to 4 days a week. If that's too much, start with even just 1 day a week, but you want to make sure you start somewhere. It does not have to be 2 hours long. It can be 20 minutes to an hour, whatever works for you and your fitness level at the starting point. But another really good exercise that you want to do at least once a week is a HIIT workout. There are low impact HIIT workouts, and HIIT stands for high intensity interval training. The low impact ones are great if you have joint pain or any sort of strains. And if you don't and you are okay with a high impact, then you can do those as well, where you're doing things like jump squats and that kind of stuff. And these really get that metabolism revved up. The best time to do these workouts would be first thing in the morning before you eat. HIIT workouts are great because if you do it before you're eating, then it rather than burning the food that's in your stomach, it's burning the calories, it's burning fat as fuel. And so the best time to do the HIIT workouts, again, would be before you have food in your stomach. And then you can burn some more fat that way. YouTube has a ton of resources on any workout you could imagine. You can search 10-minute low impact HIIT workout, and I guarantee there'll be tons, or 15-minute low impact HIIT, or 20-minute regular HIIT workout. There's anything you can imagine is there. And so take advantage of YouTube's resources and do a workout every day. Even if you're unmotivated completely, you always get a surge of energy after a workout. So that would be a good incentive to exercise. But even if you cannot bring yourself to work out because you're like, it's gonna take too long, at least try to do a 5 or 10-minute workout. They're super short. You can get a HIIT workout done pretty quick. And it really revs up the metabolism, and you burn calories or weight very quickly. So that's what I have for this video. I ran through it pretty quickly, so hopefully you could understand me. I know I do talk pretty fast, and I do apologize. If there's something that you didn't quite get, just comment down below. But that's the idea, is you always want to look to the root cause. So exercise and good diet is always like your starting point. And if you're working out, you're doing all the things, but you're not losing weight, then you have to look at, why is my metabolism not working? Is it my hormones or what is it? And it usually, regardless whether it's hormones or something else, it's coming down to the liver. The liver's not eliminating toxins, so your body's holding on to toxins, it's creating fat, your hormones are out of balance, and as you start to drain your liver and get toxins out of the body, then your liver will start to work better and actually start balancing your hormones and things like that. You could have a very deep-rooted thyroid imbalance, and there'd be specific supplementation for that. You can get tests done, like a full thyroid panel from your doctor or a naturopath, to see what's going on there. But for the most part, it's really just the liver, especially if you have weight gain around your abdomen. It's a good sign that your liver is not doing what it's supposed to do, and that you're holding on to a lot of estrogen, so excess hormones, and it's creating a lot of weight gain there. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and it gave you guys some ideas on some things that you can do to kickstart that metabolism. I'm not really sharing supplements in this video, because if you're interested in getting your liver up and running or balancing hormones, I have a lot of videos already on that topic. So this is more just to tell you which areas to look at, but thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch it. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. I have an awesome giveaway going on there right now. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you're new, and we'll chat soon. Bye.